What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming back to Garden Days. I'm Eric. Today is Thursday, so Thursday is going to be garden tour day. I'm so excited to bring this to you, to show you my layout, show you what I've done, some things that may have changed since the last time you saw a video. If you like, go ahead and hit subscribe and the thumbs up button if you haven't done it already. That way I know I'm doing good with the content, and I'll bring you some stuff as much as I can. Enjoy the video. I haven't talked about these much, but these are my super hot peppers. Now, peppers cross-pollinate, so you need to keep your super hot peppers away from any green peppers that you have, because they'll make your green peppers super hot. We have 2 yellow 7-pot, and then 6 chocolate 7-pot. Now, 7-pot means that supposedly 1 pepper is good for 7 pots of chili. To give you a breakdown, the chocolate 7-pot and then the yellow 7-pot have a Schofield heat rating. Now, Schofield is how they judge how hot a pepper is. Well, the Schofield heat rating on these is between 1 million and 1,500,000. That's how hot they're gonna be. That's intense. Next up is our mulberry tree. And as you can see, it is still loaded with berries. But I don't have any use for them. I wish I did. I wish somebody I knew could use them. I've already got 7 gallons of mulberries off this tree, so I've got more than I need. But then look at how many's left. Welcome to the garden. This is a fancy gate I have. It's got combination lock, so nobody can get in it without me wanting them to. It's very difficult and high tech. I'd love to change this entrance into a big arch with some climbing roses or something. Let's get started. This entire area didn't look like this 2 years ago. On our first year in the garden, which this is the 3rd one, on our first year in the garden, I had a friend of mine, my high school buddy named Scott, come over and till up a spot for us. It didn't take me long to realize 2 things. Number 1, the area was way too small. And number 2, this place has terrible dirt. The first year, runoff when it rained would cause ruts through here. That's how bad the ground is. It won't soak up any water, it just sits on top. It's pitiful. Our cucumbers are coming on strong. We've already gotten 5 or 6 cucumbers off of it. As you can see, we still got some more coming. So I'm tickled to death with the progress of the cucumbers. The hot peppers, or correction, the bell peppers are doing great. I'm seeing some blooms on them. It won't be long till I have to restake them. They seem to be doing awesome. The jalapenos are really coming on. I'm getting some blossoms now and some blooms. The lettuce is coming on great. It won't be long till we have to get rid of it just because it's gonna bolt. It was been 90 the past couple days here. When I'm going through my beds looking at them, I noticed that, hey, look, I've got some dill. That dill has come back up since last year. That's pretty neat. I don't have a real need for deal, but it does help keep some bugs away. Now, one thing I have tried to do is in these beds plant different stuff along with it. I've got chives in a bunch of the beds. I've got spices scattered throughout. Whether you use them or not, like this deal, when it comes up and gets big, it's going to have a lot of flowers on it for pollinators to come in and move around the garden. The banana peppers, they're looking kind of weak, but I think it's due to where they're at. It doesn't get a whole lot of sun here, and peppers really like sunshine. You look at all the mushroom fungi. It just stays super wet. Spice bed's looking good. Thyme's still trying. The chives, I decided they were last year's chives. I got a bunch of it off there and dried it out, but I decided to let the rest go to seed, just so maybe next year I'll have some chives come up. The marigym's coming up good. What I do with it, if you can notice, I clip the tops off of them. Clip the tops off of them so they'll branch out. See this little area here? Now that'll give us branches just like we do with the raspberries. Oregano's doing really well, and I'll do the same with it from time to time. But like I said, I use an app called PlantNet, and it will let you take a picture of something and put it in their database, and it will tell you what it is. And with this, I was looking, and I have lemon basil coming back from last year. I'm gonna let it grow. I don't really use it for anything, but it gives off a good smell. And I also have Greek oregano coming up over here, left over from last year. For some reason, the rest of the plant died, but it's back. I'm tickled with that. Here's a good example of me where the branches will split, and then I can split them again just by popping the tops off. Basil is looking, it's been seen better days. But thanks to Plant.net, I also noticed that I have borage coming back up. I had it planted out here last year, and I guess just the flowers and the seeds, some must have fell over in it, and now it's coming back. This is my other cucumber bed. I already got one off of it yesterday. But then on this side of it, just for the fun of it, I threw in a handful of corn just to see how it'll do. I mean, you never know unless you try. If you remember this bed from other videos, it had a bunch of foxglove in it. Well, as you can see, I thinned it out a bunch because most of the blooms on it had already gone away and was left with just seed, and I need this space for pollinators. Well, I got to looking, and the foxglove was actually choking out other flowers because it was so big. And thanks to PlantNet, I found this blanket flower. And then last year, the calendula, or I think that's how you pronounce it, was hanging over, and then the seeds fell on the ground. So this right here is going to be that, and it's already starting to form blossoms as well. Pollinators, here we come. I'm excited. Tomatoes are looking phenomenal. I mean, they're every bit of 4 foot tall, maybe bigger. I think this trellis is going to work out awesome this year. Last year it did great, but I had way too many plants in this bed. I probably had 15 plants, and it was just way too many. I ran them single stem last year, and it was still just too many. But as you can see, I'm getting some good tomatoes already starting. And you know, tomato, there's nothing better than a fresh garden tomato on even a sandwich, mayo, salt, pepper. Man, it's good. Coming over to our black raspberries. Look how giant this whole field of black raspberries are. You wouldn't believe if I told you the size of this place just 2 years ago. I'm gonna put in a picture just so you can see. I've never trimmed them before, and once I started trimming them, production, plants, everything just boomed. Maybe you can notice on the privacy fence, we went through, I think it was last year, maybe the year before, and put up bird houses along the property. Hope I'm not messing this up. There's one all the way around the property. I think we put up like 7 bird houses just to keep birds in the area. Birds will eat a lot of bad bugs, plus they're just cute to look at. Now this bird right here has been watching me almost every time I've been in the garden. It's within 10 feet of me. I see you. You're safe. Just stay where you are. Now next up is red habanero. When I first put this box in last year, it wasn't nowhere near the berries. And now look at it. The berries are literally hanging over in the boxes. So I may have to cut these berries way back again this fall. Put it in perspective, the red habanero Schofield is between 100,000 and 350,000. We're getting on up in the heat. This box right here was just another leftover box, but I decided to throw a bunch of corn in it just to see how it does. You never know unless you try. Now this right here is some hot peppers, Sugar Rush Peach. They get about between 100,000 and maybe 150,000 on the Schofield scale. So yeah, they're still pretty hot. Now this old grapevine right here was on the property when we got the property, but it was so overgrown. I mean, it was 30 foot long. The grapes would rot before they ever got ripe because it wasn't getting any airflow to them. So I put in this trellis a couple weeks ago, this arch trellis. So I'm gonna run the vines up and over this year, and maybe I'll get some grapes. Maybe not this year, but at least next year, maybe I'll get some grapes off of it. In this bed right here, we've got zucchini and squash. You can almost tell which way my sun comes up. It's like the plants are chasing the sun. The sun comes up there. I put in 2 blueberry bushes at the end of, well, 2 years ago. Didn't have very many last year because they were only about a foot tall. We're starting to get some this year. So this property's gonna have, it's 0.4 of an acre, but it's gonna have mulberries. It's gonna have black raspberries, blueberries, and then wineberries. Just 2 years ago, these wineberries were 5 plants. And through selective cutting and trimming and everything, now look at the size of the plant. Now in this bed is our Blue Lake green beans. Last year we tried to grow them and the rabbits just ate them all down, so I had put up this chicken wire. Wasn't really going to use this bed this year for anything, but I thought, you know, what the heck, we could use at least some fresh green beans. So I thinned it out and cleaned it up and loosened the dirt, and then I added some Blue Lake green bean seeds. You know, Blue Lake, that's the only one my daddy would ever plant, was Blue Lake. So I'm kind of sticking with the tradition. I hope you enjoyed today's tour. I've got some plans coming up for the garden, some things that are going to be different perhaps the next time you see them. I've got some seeds started downstairs. I've got some plants I'm going to put in just to fill up some spaces. Come back, and I hope to have this video, the garden tour video, every Thursday. God bless you, and I appreciate it if you could subscribe, give me a like, give me a comment or two on something you see that you need to be explained or anything. Thanks for watching.